you can use, again, to summarize, OLABs, you can use it before the lab, explain before performing the practical lab or session, explain a procedure. If you want to do, you can use OLABs. To demonstrate something, you can use OLABs. Then to just tell that what this lab is going to consist of, what is the apparatus that is going to be there, set an expectation about the lab. For that also you can use OLABs. And you can use it to some kind of reflection questions or review questions. So of course, as we say that you can come up with more creative uses for this. And for students, students, can they use it? Yes, they can use it for self-study. They can familiarize themselves with the lab before going for the physical lab sessions. Actually, having some kind of background may also be useful to the student, because that he may be more attentive during the lab session, or he may be more motivated or engaged in the lab session because he has already read up something about it. Then try variations which are available in the lab, which is not possible in physical labs due to the limitation of time and the equipments. So some variations can be available, can be tried out at home or in the lab. You can even in the computer lab also they can do this. Then revision before the lab exam, the revisions of all the labs that are there can be done. How a particular lab, how to set up, how to take readings, how to do observations, all that things can be done. After that, your labs can be used to reinforce the concepts, answers, questions that they may have. Okay, so they can actually use that as well. And they can access OLABs either in their computer labs. You can set it up for them in the computer labs, or they can view it at their home computer. So it's up to them. This is how OLABs looks like. This is the home page of OLABs, olabs.edu.in, and you can see this boxes which are there, which is representative of each subject for which we have OLABs. So we have physics, we have chemistry, we have biology, we have maths, we have English. So you can go to subject of your choice. So for biology, teachers can go click on this particular box, and you get a list of bio labs. So you can see that on the top also for training and registrations, all these important links are there. Ms. Suman Nenoria, my colleague, she'll be giving you a demonstration of the website. There she will talk about some of these as well. This little flag which is there on the right side is actually to change the language of the lab. So once you change the language, so suppose you select, you click on this, you get the options like Hindi, Marathi, Malayalam. If you select that, all the text on OLAB's website gets converted or translated to that particular language. So everything will be available in Marathi or Hindi or Malayalam. And even all the contents of the labs will also be available in that lab. So this is a snapshot of a physics lab. So you can see that, of course, this is not the full lab. This is actually the simulator part of the lab. I had mentioned you that there are these 5 components of every lab. So right now what you can see is that this is the name of the lab, equivalent resistance of resistors. So this is a snapshot which is taken from the simulator part of this lab, and you can see that there is a equipment which looks similar to that we find in the labs. Then there is this reading to take the reading, the equipment is there, and you also get a magnified version of it. So wherever possible, such kind of utilities are available to make it easy to comprehend what's going on in the labs. There are various such tools, like there is a ruler available, there is a timer available. So these things are available which will help you out in taking the readings and all. So here also these are the variations that you can do. You can reset the lab also. That so this is a chemistry, a snapshot from a chemistry lab. So this is the very fundamental experiment in chemistry at school level, which is chemical reactions. And we can see that these are the typical things which you find like a tong, or maybe the burner and the litmus papers. and in the dish you take up the powder or whatever is the chemical which is there, and spatula is there. So all these things have, there is a effort to try to simulate what is there in the lab, so that the student doesn't get completely a different environment from what is there in the lab. So there are also this some of these utilities, such as you can do a full screen, so that you can get a complete view of the lab, and here you can select which reaction is there. After you complete that, here you cannot see that that comes only at the end. Inference button will also turn up, which actually tells about what is the inference based on the observation that has happened in the chemical reaction. Then this is a snapshot from the bio lab. More about this will be shown in the demonstration. So there is a microscope here, and then there are some observations which are there. So you have taken a thing on the slide, and this is what, so you get both the views. The microscope is there, and this is the view of it. And plus some labels are also there, so that you can actually show the student based on that. And there is an explanation which comes up here, that these cells are long, narrow, and have hardened. So that kind of explanation is also available to the students. This is for the lab plant and animal tissues. Then this is a snapshot from OLAP's mathematics. Okay. So OLAP's mathematics is there. So in OLAP's mathematics, what we have is a maths. If you see that the labs that are there, it's more of using paper cutting methods. You actually verify many of the theorems that are there. Okay. So like the quadrilateral formed by midpoints of a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, that is this particular lab is. So the student, what the student can do is can do a random quadrilateral of his or her choice, and then follow the instructions which are given on the left side, and the observations come up, the conclusion comes up here. So there are some other tools like cutting the triangle, or rotating it clockwise, anti-clockwise, superimposing it. All these things are available. So depending on the requirement of every kind of subject. Okay. So physics is more of putting together equipments, taking the readings, measuring. Chemistry is more of doing some kind of observations which are there. Bio is, I think it's a mix of both of that. It also has a lot of observation things that the student has to do, some procedures that the student has to perform. Mathematics is more from the theorems, using some kind of representation of that, which is theorem, which is abstract, using some things like some tangible things, like say for example a quadrilateral that I'm drawing on the workbench, which is very specific to what I have done. Like I can draw 10 different kind of quadrilaterals, I verify that. So everything has a different kind of approach, though if you see that all the basic model of all OLAPs for all the subjects remains the same. So now OLAPs English was an attempt that we had mainly for grammatical concepts. And what we are doing is we give them a lot of generated sentences. For example, in this one is tense conversion. So the student can actually, when the student selects from tense and to tense, the sentences get generated. And from the word repository, student can actually construct a correct, grammatically correct sentence in the given tense, that is future perfect tense. And depending on what choices the student does for constructing the sentences, the system is not just telling that you are right or wrong, but the system is also giving feedback on if something is wrong, what could be the remedial action taken for that. So wherever possible, we have also, even in maths also, we also give them some kind of remedial action or some kind of feedback that is there. So OLAPs, as I said, that it's available in regional languages. So it gets all the, once you select from the flag, you select the language, you can see that all the theory, procedure, even the names of the apparatus or whatever objects are there, the labelings, everything will be available in that particular language. Even the captions of the various visual elements which are there. The idea is to, for regional language schools to adopt it. And we don't want only in English it is available. So these 2 3 languages also, all the labs are available, and some labs we have started now translating depending on the volunteers that we have got. OLabs, I think this is one of the most, we get this query also, that can I use OLabs on mobile devices? So we recommend that you use it in a desktop or a laptop, and maybe on a tablet also. You can use OLabs, but it will be really a pain to use it on your smartphone. The reason being, it may render. That is not an issue. But for doing changes in the simulation mode, the student actually needs some space in the device. Space in the sense, some size. It needs to be of a bigger size, so that it is spacious enough that the student can actually manipulate things and can see what is happening on the screen. In a tiny device like a smartphone, it's going to be difficult for the student. So that is our recommendation. Rest is up to you how you would like to use it. So these are some of the insights of the training. We have almost every day we have many users. Most of them are teachers like you, who have been using OLabs very, very regularly, OLabs website, possibly using it in their classes as well. Sometimes they are doing it, so you can also use it in that way. So biology activities in OLabs. So these are the activities. So we are having bio activities for 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So these are the set of activities for class 9th, which are there. These are some of the activities for class 10th. These are activities for class 11. So when you click on the bio, that box which I had mentioned, this list of class-wise list of labs gets displayed, and you have to select that particular that particular lab to actually view what is there in that lab. So these are the set of labs which are available by class 12. So we have put an icon also for each of this lab, just as a indicative icon of what the lab is all about. So what I'll do is that I will show you quickly just a overview of one lab, and then it will be over to Suman, my colleague, who will walk you through the various labs. Okay, I hope everyone can see this. This is importance of light in photosynthesis. Okay, so you can see that what I have done is so I have actually opened the offline version of OLabs, which is there on my laptop. So you can see that the look and feel is very, very similar to that of OLabs website. Okay, so there are these components, like you have a theory, you have a procedure with all the apparatus, materials required. Suman will walk through it in detail. Animations, which is there. Then you have a simulator. Okay, so here it is, importance of light in the process of photosynthesis. What is the importance of light? What role is it plays in photosynthesis? So here the rate of photosynthesis is depicted in the form of the bubbles that come up here. So you can actually have a lab, you have a light source here, you have a timer here, okay? And here there is a scale which indicates the distance of the light source. And you can actually start, I have started this simulation, and the clock is started. Of course, it is not mapped to real time, but just an indication to give for you to actually take readings. So you can count the number of bubbles which are coming, and then you can stop it. So you can see that the number of bubbles formed is 5. It is also showing you that, and this was the time. 1 minute is considered as from this place to this place when uh, the hands of the this indicative clock go. It is counted as 1 minute. Okay. So in this way, the student can actually observe that, okay, this many number of bubbles are formed in 1 minute. What if I actually move the power source about a little more far at a farther place than this? So what happens is, does the rate of photosynthesis increase or it decreases? Then again, the experiment can be started. So potentially the student is actually trying out these options, and every time doing the readings. And so a lot of self-learning is happening. Is doing a self-study of these things. Observations are being done. Okay, what if the power source is it's of 100 watt bulb is there? What happens when there? Is it going to increase the rate of photosynthesis? Is it going to decrease it? And so on. So you can see that the rate has increased. And here you can also select the color of the filter, which can be red, it can be green filter on the bulb, okay, on the light source. So does that have any effect? So you can see that potentially there are so many different variations or options that you can actually see in each lab. And the student can spend a lot of time on this. And what he learns now, okay, you tell him in the class that this is what happens, and when he actually sees it, performs it, and does it, there will be a longer retention for the student. Okay. So that is all about just giving you an overview of OLAB's philosophy, and overview of the lab. We will now move on to the demonstration.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I will just share my screen.
Sure.
And we'll take you to the OLAB's website.
Meanwhile, I will also see some of the questions which are there on the chat.
Yeah. So I hope this OLAB's website is visible to all of you.
Not yet.
So yeah. I have shared this screen. Not visible?
Yes. We can see that. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So this is OLAB's portal. Before this, Archana ma'am is just demonstrating you OLABs that is in offline mode. So that offline mode is also available if you don't have internet connectivity at your system. So that is a offline mode. In offline mode also you can view all the activity. Now I am demonstrating you different activities and lab in OLABs from the website. So this is the URL www.olabs.edu.in, and you can see these are the various tabs for the OLABs: home, about, news, and this is the workshop information, training calendar, request for training if you want to attend the training, and this is the for registration. So this I will tell you later. And this contact us, login, and there is a language flag. So as she mentioned during the demonstration, during the presentation, that we can change the, we can view the OLAB's content in different languages. So we can change the language from here. If you want to view the content in Hindi and also in Marathi or Malayalam, then we can select the language from here. And once we select the language, then the content of OLABs will be visible in that language. So all the content will now will then available in all that selected languages. So we will see the demonstration of biology. So in the portal you can see these are the subjects available in OLABs: physics, chemistry, biology, and maths and English also. So these are the labs available. So we will go for the biology. So I'm just selecting biology. And here, as in the presentation, you have seen the screenshot, different activities available for the different classes. So here also you can see these are the activity for class 12. class 11 and class 10, class 9. So we have seen one experiment. So I will again just tell you one experiment from class 9. Then we will move towards other classes and we will try to demonstrate you different variety of experiment during the demonstration. So I will just take a simple example, detection of starch in food sample. So this is one activity for class 9. So I will just demonstrate you this activity. So here you can see I have selected activity detection of starch in food sample. And here in this activity you can see these are the various tabs available. So before this in offline version, maybe there are three tabs are missing. Like this video tab was missing there in offline version, and this feedback tab is also missing in QLab. So we will see this theory, this tab, what is there in this tab related to this experiment. So basically all the content related to one experiment we have tried to put at one place. So you can see there is a theory tab. In this theory tab, a student can read related theory to that experiment at this place. So before doing the experiment, they can read the theory, they can know about that particular experiment before going to the detail in experiment. And now there is a procedure tab. In this procedure tab also, we have mentioned both the procedure to perform the activity. So basically, as we said, physical lab is very much important. We are not going to replace that with OLABs. So here, the procedure to perform that activity in the real lab scenario. So basically, this is in physical lab. So how we are doing that activity in the physical lab, that is mentioned here with the appropriate pictures and picture of apparatus. So this also a student can refer. And after that, there is a procedure to perform this activity in the simulator. So that is also mentioned here under the procedure tab. And if there is any precaution we need to take while doing the experiment in the physical lab, that also mentioned here under this procedure. So basically all the important information related to doing that experiment in physical lab also mentioned under procedure. And after that there is an animation. So basically in animation we are giving full picturization. It is a video of performing that experiment in the physical lab. So you can see, I will just show you a glimpse of this video. So you can see this animation.
Detection of starch food samples. To do the experiment, we require distilled water, beaker, potatoes, tile, knife, iodine solution, test tube, glass rod, muslin cloth.
So basically this is the animation. Here we are just giving the demonstration of activity that you need to perform in the physical lab while doing that experiment. And after that there is a simulator. So basically this is the environment where by using dragging and dropping method they are doing the experiment, and they can select the various parameters to conduct that experiment in the simulation environment. So you can see this is one experiment, detection of starch in food sample. So here in this environment we can select which test we want to do. So here iodine test is available. So for this particular experiment we need to do the iodine test for detection of starch. So here we can select any food sample from this. So just I am selecting a carrot. So here this carrot extract is available and this iodine solution is available. So now this is a very simple experiment in which I need to simply use this iodine solution. So iodine solution is there, this dropper is there. So I need to by using dragging and dropping, I will just use the dropper and use this iodine solution is in this carrot extract. So you can see I have used this dropped, and after some time we can see if there is a iodine present in this, then color will change. If not, the color will not change. So this, in this experiment there is a no change is happening here. So now we will try with different but food sample, that is wheat. So in this again we will try this iodine solution, and here you can see the change in color will happen. So that means that iodine is present in this wheat. So basically we can do this experiment with different food samples, and after that there is a result. So we can select that whether in this food sample the presence of starch is there or not. So we can select, like we have done carrot, no, so it is correct. For wheat, color changes happen, so yes. So this is a very simple activity where we are just selecting different food sample or and doing a iodine test to detect the presence of starch in food sample. So this is one activity for class 9, and also you can see there is a video associated with every experiment in OLABS. So this video is basically taking you that concept with the real world. This will demonstrate you how that concept we are using in the real world scenario. So I will show you what is there in the video, what kind of videos are there in OLABS. So this is the video. So basically when we play this video, we will see how we are, what type food material we can find the starch, and what is the importance of starch and carbohydrate in our daily life. So basically this is the video that is relating this particular concept with the real world. So these kind of videos are available with every experiments, most of the experiment in OLABS. And after that we have a Viva Voce section. So basically this Viva Voce is for the self-assessment. So once you complete this activity, you have gone through with the theory, you have read the procedure, watched the animation, or maybe by directly procedure you have done this activity in the simulator, and after that you can check whether you have gained with that experiment or not. So you're learning with that experiment, you can check by this Viva Voce questions. So these are some multiple type questions that is available in OLABS. You can select answer for this question. Suppose I'm just randomly selecting few to show you what result it will give. So there are few questions available here. I'm just randomly marking answer for this, and at the end you can see there is a submit button. So once we have done this experiment, we have chosen this multiple type, we have taken this multiple type question type test, and now I am just randomly selected it and click on submit. So once I have submitted it, I can see the immediate result for my submission. So you can see these are the wrong, these are the correct one. So by this they can self-assess themselves, a student can self-assess themselves for that experiment. So basically these type of Viva Voce, these type of multiple type of questions are there under Viva Voce section with the each experiment. And in offline mode these questions are there, but you can't submit answers for these questions because you will not found immediate result for these attempts. This is available in only in online mode. In offline mode you can view the questions, but you only can't attempt those questions. After that we have a resource section. So basically for this particular activity, if you want to refer any additional material, that is also available under this resource. So in this resource we have provided link for additional resources that you can refer for this activity. And after that there is a feedback. So basically this feedback tab is for the teachers. So for this particular experiment, as a teacher, if you want to give your feedback for particular this activity, like in this the content is not suitable, or there is a mistake in the content, or there is any update in the content from your side. So that kind of feedback you can give in this with along with that activity. So a teacher can give this feedback, and this feedback is regularly evaluated, and accordingly, if we found it appropriate, we will implement in the content. Accordingly, we can say we can change the content. So basically, these kind of content. So under one experiment, you can see theory, procedure, animation, simulator, videos, Viva Voce resource, and feedback. So all these steps, all these content are available along with each and every experiment. So now we will see another experiment, a little more difficult kind of experiment. So we will see for we have done for class 9th, we have seen one experiment. Now we will move towards this class 10th. So in this class 10th also we have seen the importance of light in photosynthesis, and in this it is the same, only videos is available as it is online mode. Now we will see one experiment for this characteristic of dicot and monocot stem and root. So basically it is a little different from the previous one, because here in this experiment basically we need to study dicot and monocot stem and root. So we need microscope for this to study the characteristic in detail. So you can see how we will do this activity here in OLABS. So again in this you can see theory, procedure, animation is available, same as there in the previous demonstration. So now I am just directly moving towards the simulator part. So this is the simulator for characteristic of dicot and monocot stem and root. So here you can see this is the experiment. In this experiment there are two kind of flower or root is there. So basically stem and root is there, dicot and monocot. Now we have to study this by using this microscope. So we will take one. So it is already selected, this sunflower stem. So this is basically the strip for the sunflower stem. Now we have to drag it and place it to the microscope. So now it is done. I will just click it to place it here, and now I want to see view it. So I will click on the eye view. So on clicking on the eye view, you can see the view from the microscope, how it can be viewed, that you can see here. And in the left hand side you can see I can also change the lens. So basically I am just we can also zoom it. So we will select, suppose I will increase it to 10x. So you can see more detailed view now we can see. And also if you want to adjust it from side, that also we can. So I am just pressing it left side and just right side. I am just clicking it. These side arrow I am just clicking so that we can adjust the view and in detail we can view it. So this is one example where we are using microscope to view the characteristic of this stem and root. So now we have done with one, so we can reset it. So now it is reset. We have studied this stem part. Now suppose we want to study this root, maize root. So I will click on this maize root. Now this strip is available for maize root. Now we have to put it under microscope, and we can again see the view. So now you can see the view is different, and if you want to again zoom it, you can zoom it. And accordingly, if you want to move it left, right, that also available from the slide adjustment. So this is another activity where we use this microscope to view a detailed view for this dicot and monocot stem and root. So similarly, other activities are also available where we need this kind of view to study and observe different parameters like animal and plant tissues, stomata, and other things. So now we will again go back to the different classes. We will again see different experiment. So now we have seen two experiment there. So we have done with this. Now we will see detection of carbohydrate, protein and fat. So we will select this detection of carbohydrate, protein and fat. So again you can see we have a different same tabs for this also, this activities also we have a different tabs. Now I will select simulator, directly we will go to the simulator. So here you can see the advantage of using the OLAPs is we are doing the experiment with different parameters. Maybe in the classroom or physical lab, you can do this particular experiment test of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Which suppose we can only do for carbohydrate test, or again for the carbohydrate also we can select which type of carbohydrate. So that also we can select from here, and also kind of test. There are two type of tests given for this experiment. So which type of test we want to perform for this, that also we can select. So basically this is the advantage where we are just saying, or we are just checking different variation. So basically different variation we can able to perform here. So student will visualize these parameter and they can see the results here with different variables here. So I have selected carbohydrate test, and in this carbohydrate I have selected glucose and test name Benedict's test. So what is this test is, there are these three things. So if I am unable to do the experiment, I am not know what I need to do in this experiment. So I can also click for help. So wherever is possible, we have put this help. So in this help, it will give you step-by-step instructions. So like it is saying, drag this solution and put it to the test tube. So I've just drag it, drop it, use this solution in this banana extract. So basically this is test tube. Now I have to move this test tube and put it this test tube on this beaker. So this simply by using dragging and dropping, I have done this. So now this is done. Now I have to on this heater. I have just on this. After few minutes, you can see the change in color will happen. So now this change in color happens. So here there is inference button is here. I can click here. So brick red color indicate that presence of glucose. So this is one complete activity where we have selected the food substance, selected the carbohydrate type, and also selected the test type. So for this particular set of values, we have done this activity. Now we can reset it. So after resetting it, we can again select another test. So this is like protein test. So in protein test, which test we want to perform? So suppose I have selected a Milan test. So Milan test. So in this test, again, if you want, you can click on help. Otherwise, simply if you know how to perform it, just you can directly do this experiment. So I've used this solution in this egg, albin, and you can see these inferences. So pink color indicate the presence of protein. So basically this is another activity. So you can see here in this experiment, you need the beaker, you need the solutions. So according to the experiment, there is a solution, there is a beaker. If you need burner, if you need heater, that is available in this simulation environment. So this is another activity we have done. Now we will see another activity for class 12. So basically in demonstration, we are trying to cover different variety of experiment, and we want to cover different classes also. So we will take one experiment, study of physical property of soil. So you can see again in theory, all the theory related to the experiment is available. So in detail the theory is there. So this is study of physical property, and again we will directly move to the procedure. So this is the procedure. So you can see again here, as we have mentioned that wherever is required in any experiment, that we need to note down the value, we need to do some calculation. So that is also provided with the simulation. So basically most of the this kind of labs are available in physics labs, but there are few labs in biology also, few experiments in biology also, where we need to note down the values. So basically this is one experiment, study of physical property of soil. So again the help is available, and we can select here the different type of test, which test we want to conduct here in the simulation. So I am just selecting moisture content test. So for moisture content test also, which kind of soil I want to use. So for which kind of soil I want to test, then we can select. So already this garden soil is selected. So this is a garden soil. So in this, basically in this experiment, I have to check the moisture content. So I have to note down the initial weight, I have to note down the final weight, and on the basis of that moisture content will be calculated. So here, as I have selected the garden soil, so first is roadside soil, so we will select roadside. Now use this soil in this bowl. I have done this. Now we have to take the weight. So you can see the weighing machine is also here, and I will put this on weighing machine, and now you can see the weight. So you can note down the weight also here in the simulation environment itself. So the weight is 208.21. I have noted down the weight, and after that I need the final weight. So for final weight, I have to put it this ball on the this burner. So I will just put it on this burner and just on this burner. So now this burner is on. So basically we need to use this burner and heat this soil around 15 minutes. So basically it will not take 15 minutes because it is not real clock. So it is done. Already the burner is off and 15 minutes done. Now again we have to take the weight for this soil. So again we will weight it. So the weight is 2, so we can enter the weight here, 206.35, and enter. So you can see the difference is calculated, already calculated. We have entered the initial values, and again after the experiment we have calculated the final weight. That final weight also we have entered here, and accordingly this moisture content will calculate. So here you can see this is a different kind of experiment where we need to note down the notations also. And suppose again if you want to conduct this with the garden soil, so you can do this again, this experiment. With this soil here, you can take the weight, and so again we will take the notation values. We can note the values here. So this is the value is 183.2. Now again we will put it on this burner and we'll burn this. Again it will take 15 minutes. So 15 minutes we need to heat this soil. So it is done. Now we will again calculate the weight for it, and now the weight is 178.21. Again you can see the moisture content is calculated. So we have done this experiment, we have taken the initial weight, and after we have taken the final weight for two kind of soils. So these kind of experiments are also available. Again you can change this. You can check for the water holding capacity. You can test pH. You can do the pH test. You can do the texture test. So you can select this. Again appropriate things are there and help is there, and with this help, by using dragging and dropping, you can do the activity. And again for this also moisture content test, the table is there, and if any calculation you want to do for this, you can. So this is one again one experiment. So you have seen that different kind of experiments are there, and along with that, if any special tool is required or apparatus is required, that is also present there. So like this study of pollen germination. So basically here we need to plug the flower. So basically that facility is also available in the simulation environment, and study of plant population density by quadrant method. So basically that is also there. You can divide the quadrant and you can study the count of flower. So all the things are available. So you will see one video, life cycle of mosquito, because there is a no experiment there for life cycle of mosquito, but it is a very good video you can use in your classrooms. So animation is also there, video is also there. So as I said, this video is basically from the real world. It is just taking that concept in the real world, how we are using that concept. So you can just see for this life cycle of mosquito. I'm just playing this video.
Life cycle of a mosquito. There are over 2,500 different species of mosquitoes found throughout the world. The feeding habits of mosquitoes are quite unique. The male mosquitoes feed only on plant juices, while it is the adult female that bites man and animals. Most
Hello.
female mosquitoes have to
Simon, I think you can switch off the audio
sufficient blood meal before being able to develop.
because there is a lag.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe later you can check it with the audio. Because of the lag. We thought we'll switch off the audio. But so because of the network lag, it is actually you are not able to see it properly. But you can definitely check it out on our website.
Yeah. So you can view these videos in along with the experiments. All videos with proper audio is available, but I think due to network issue, you are not able to listen it properly. But this is just giving you feel how the videos are available, what kind of videos are available in the OLAPs, that you can just see. So this is all about OLAPs, and we have seen different experiment in the biology, different kind of experiment, and related to that apparatus equipments are available, and we can also perform that experiment with different variation as variety of options are available along with the experiment. So this is all about demo. So yes, Ashna ma'am.
Suman, can you stop sharing? The last one slide only I wanted to show.
Yes.
Thank you, Suman, for this wonderful demonstration. Yeah, so we conclude here. Thank you all for your time. We know that your time is very important, all teachers. In the morning, most of you are having classes for your students. Still, you have taken out time to actually get this orientation. So our intention of these orientations is to take OLABs to each and every school. We just don't want that just that because we have got a grant, we have developed a OLABs and it is lying somewhere on the internet. We want to make sure that most of you, many of you actually start using it. It's a freely available resource. You don't have to pay any license cost for it because it's made available by the government for all of you. So please do make a best of it. And we also understand that though we have taken a lot of efforts in putting out OLABs, we have done a lot of verification workshops. We have also got it vetted from subject matter experts, plus even NCERT, CBSE, they have also had a look at it. But it is possible that there may be some errors or some issues that may be there in labs. Do share your feedback, suggestions. We certainly appreciate that. We have also noted some of the suggestions that many of you have mentioned in the chat session about more labs. So see, developing labs actually requires a lot of effort in each lab development. It starts right from storyboard to concept and developing it, testing it, verifying it, so that something which is very much useful to you is possible. And yes, we are in progress. Talks are in progress about developing the next phase of OLABs, where we are planning to expand the base to other classes right from 6th, 7th, 6th, 7th, 5th, 6th, 7th. We are planning to do that even 8th standard. And we are also planning to develop some labs for social sciences. And as many of you said that some of the labs in the current curriculum are not available. So we are planning to add those pending labs also. So please keep checking OLAB's website. The website is going to remain the same. It is only the number of classes that is going to increase, the number of experiments that are going to experiment and increase, and hopefully more subjects will also get added. Please do give your feedback. Please spread the word to your colleagues to make use of OLABs. And as I have already mentioned in the chat, that we since the lockdown started, we actually started conducting almost daily sessions. So we conduct it from Monday to Friday. Every day around 4:15 to 5 we conduct this session. And you can registration link we have provided. Suman, please put the link again. So you can register, your colleagues can register, where we provide orientation on how you can use OLABs. Okay. So we do hope that you will consider adopting it for your students, and do employ effective usage strategies for OLABs. I think you can come up with many different ways, ideas in which you can use OLABs, and do share your success stories with us, because we'll be very happy to know that, and maybe we can put it on our website so that even other teachers or schools can get inspired because of that. So thank you very much. This is our email address, etu@cdac.in. vidyakash@etu@gmail.com is also our email address. Thank you. Since it's a session this session is by CBSE, I think for participation certificate, CBSE may guide you for this sessions. On our website, we also have a section wherein you can put, if you are already using OLABs, you can give the details. We will flash your school name on our website as a list of schools who are actually using OLABs. So please do check that as well. Yeah, the session is officially over. Thank you very much. Trainings conducted by CDAC team is daily 4:15 to 5 o'clock on all working days. and we cover one for all the subjects it is there.